Following on from the basic timer, I want to have a look at using more than one form, so multiple forms, and also with tab controls. So the first thing we'll do here is I want a second form. So over at the Solution Explorer, if I right click on the project, and from the add menu I can select Windows Form from here. Windows Form, classes, things like that are the most common things that you'll want to add to your project, so you'll get them on this menu. If they're not on that menu, you can also click New Item and make sure you select Windows Form from there. I'm just going to go with the default name Form 2 and click on Add. Also, I'll take Form 2, I'll take the back color property, I'll just change it to a different color so it's easier to identify, and I'll just go with a nice misty rose, and I'm going to change its start position to center screen. And the main reason I'm doing that is that I'm using two screens here and it will show up on my other screen. So at the moment, if I run that, I'm just going to get the form as I did before, because this is still the startup form. If I wanted to change my startup form to this form, I can open up this program.cs file, and where I've got application.run, here line 19, tell it to run form 2. So that's when the application starts, run form 2 rather than form 1. So you see here now we're getting form 2 running. I'll change it back to form 1, and again just run it so you can see yes, it's definitely back on form 1 again. And this time I'm going to get form 2 to open whenever I click on a button. So I'll create another button here. I'll just copy the button we already have just for the styling, and I'll change its name to BTN form 2, and the text property I'll change to open form 2. So if we double click on open form 2 button to get to the event handler, what I need to do in here is first of all create a new instance of a form, okay, which I will call FRM temp, and I'll say FRM temp is equal to a new form 2, and FRM temp dot show. So running that, click on open form 2, and I've now got an instance of form 2. It's not ideal like that, because every time I click on that button I get a new instance of form 2 where I might only want one of them. I can prevent it from doing that by opening it as a modal form, and we'll take a wee look at that now. Just when I'm opening the form, C# gives me a couple of different options. Show was one of them. Show dialog is another one. If I tell it to open that way, it makes it what's called a modal form. So if I click on open form 2, it opens just like it did before. I can move that form around. If I go back to try and open it again, it won't let me. Now I can go to other applications, but I can't go to another Windows form within this application until that's closed. So that's one way of preventing that. Another thing we might want to do is open the form as a child of the parent form. And to do that, and you go back to form 1 in this case, and go to the property is MEDA container or MDA container. That's multiple document interface. Set that to true. That allows it to become a container. And to show that it is a container, the background color changes to this sort of slightly darker grey. I then need to go to code here. Whenever I'm opening up my new form, I've got form temp form temp equals new form 2. I would also need to say frm temp dot mdi parent equals this. So we're in the code behind the first form, so this refers to that first form. And I don't need to open it as a dialog box. I'll just put it back to just a normal window. And if I run that and open form 2, you can see that form 2 is inside form 1. Okay, it's in here. We can see that pinky color, but you can also see we still have the rich text box, we still have the buttons, because anything on the parent form shows up a text precedence, so it comes to the front. So if I wanted to just have another form that just looks like a box of some kind, what I would do is in the second form itself, maybe reduce the size. So we look at the first form. Oops, the first form is 816 by 489. So I'll make this one. Let's go for about 800 by 300. What I'll also do is see the form's border style. I will change it to none. Okay, so we get it like that. And if we open up that, which you'll see now, so you can see it's opening up, pardon me, inside here. But what I would like to do is move it down a bit further, and I can do that by changing its position. So I could change the size on here, I could also change its position. So I could say frm temp dot the location equals new point, and that gave me 2 points. I don't want it to come over too far on the x coordinates. I'll say 5 and down about 200. If I run that now, there'll be no difference, as you'll see. I'm expecting to be no difference. Right, and the reason for that is in Form 2's design mode, I've got the start position as center screen. I would need to change that to manual so I can override it. And if I run that now, you can see it is positioned based on values that I give it. So I'll bring it up a bit and bring it to the left a bit. So I'll get it just to start it over pixel 1 and down to about 180. What I should do obviously is work out exactly where it should go. But you get the idea. So I can do that there, and now I basically have a form within a form. Problem with this particular one here now is that there's no way to close it. So essentially I can't get out of it. So what I need to do, I'll pop on a button and I will just make the text property an X, create the code event handler, click event handler, and just say this dot close. And back to the design. So just making a tiny wee button. Didn't even change the name. So open form, close form. Okay. I was going to do tabs in this, but it's running a wee bit too long, so I'll do the tab control in the next one. Again, thanks for listening.